Hi everybody, welcome again. It's Thursday evening. It's time for the Dinosaur Experience for Kids live broadcast, and we're so happy that you've spent the time and you've come to see what we've got going on today. We've got a real good show for you today. Let me tell you about some of the things, but before we do, let me just explain we're live at the moment. So it's a live broadcast. It means that you can join in at any stage. You can go to the comments section. Now we're actually live on Facebook, my Facebook page. We're live on the Dinosaur Experience Facebook page. We're live on the Dinosaur Experience for Kids Facebook group. We're live on LinkedIn. We're live on Twitter. We're live on YouTube. We're live on DL Live. And there's another one, Twitch. So they're all the places we're live. So if you're watching on any of those, welcome. Thank you so much for watching. You can type in anything you want and we'll be able to see that, and I'll bring it up for us at the end. So if you've got any questions, then type in a message. Also, if you wanted a shout out, we like to do shout outs at the end. So if you want to mention somebody's name and their age or where they're from, where they're watching from, put it in the comments there, hit return, it will come up on my screen. We'll say hi to you at the end of the show. All right, so let's have a little look about what we've got going on today's show. So here we are. So the first thing we're going to look at is Gonzales Primary School. Now, if you remember last week, I dashed in here last week with about 3 seconds to spare to do our live show, and that's because I'd been out all day, and that was where I'd been. I've been at the school, and also we've been doing some other stuff. I had to go and try and sort out our truck. Now, let me tell you, the truck's still not sorted. Still trying to buy a brand new truck any day now. It should have been Wednesday, then it was Friday, and then it was like yesterday, and so it's just a complete mess. But eventually we're going to get a new truck. But yeah, so that's where I was last week, Gonzales Primary School, and I'm going to show you a little video of that a bit later. Then we're going to do Riddle of the Day, get your question going, see if anybody can work it out. Some birthday shout-outs from the weekend. Then we're going to have a look at our Dinosaur of the Day, although it's not a dinosaur this week, it's another Pterosaur, the Quetzalcoatlus. And we'll talk about that in depth in a little while. Lots to talk about with that fantastic Pterosaur. Then we're going to look at St. Bernadette School, another school I went to this week. Then I'm going to tell you about some public appearances we've got coming up over the summer. So if you want to come and see us, the Dinosaur Experience, come and meet Rexy and Nash and Brutus and all our dinosaurs, then I'm going to tell you where we're going to be. Then we'll have a look at some social media pages, and then we'll do some shout-outs at the end. All right, so I mentioned that last week we'd been to the Gonzales School, the primary school. And what happened was Miss Ashley, a teacher at the Gonzales Primary School, she called us and arranged a visit for us to bring our dinosaurs and come and meet some of the children. Now, some of the children got a little bit excited at the start. It was a real fun thing. And I've got a little video here to show you of what happened.
Don't let it bite you. All right.
All right, so you can see how much fun we had there. Lots of the children having lots of laughs. Really enjoyed visiting the Gonzales Primary School there, and it was so much fun. And thank you so much for inviting along the Dinosaur Experience. All right, so we're going on to Riddle of the Day now. So let's see who's been thinking, see if anybody can work out what it is. So the question is, what has to be broken before it can be used? Have a think about that one. What has to be broken before it can be used? And if you think you know the answer, type it into the comments there, and we'll see if anybody gets it by the end of the show, and we'll have a look at the comments and see if anyone's got it. All right, so moving on to birthdays. We had some fantastic birthdays this weekend. Our first birthday that we came to was for Darius. Darius was 3 years old, and Darius lives in Baton Rouge, and here he is with mum and dad having a great time at his fantastic birthday. We brought Rocky along to meet you. Rocky and Susie came along to his birthday there. I was actually in the Lou's Caboose in Mississippi, and I know some of you guys actually came along and saw us at Lou's Caboose, and I was very happy to see you guys. Thank you for coming to say hello. But Darius here, happy birthday, buddy. Hope you had a fantastic birthday. Then the next birthday we went to was for 3 children, all at the same party. They're all part of the same daycare, and that was Judah, who is 7, Hart, who was 4, and Asher, who was turning 3. You guys had a fantastic birthday, and we really loved coming to meet you. And that was all in Vidalia. So we came to Vidalia, bit of a drive for us, but it was a great party, really fantastic, so interesting. We closed the road down for the dinosaurs so that everybody was safe. Closed the road, put some cones out, had a great dinosaur party. And Judah, Hart, and Asher, thank you so much for inviting the Dinosaur Experience. I know we really enjoyed meeting you guys. And we'll have the videos up from your birthdays and some pictures later on this week, probably early next week. So keep an eye out for that, and we'll be able to show you those birthdays. All right, going on to the Dinosaur of the Day now, or Pterosaur of the Day as it is. The Quetzalcoatlus. So what do we know about this guy? Well, let me tell you a little bit about him and why I thought we would take a look at him. Here he is. Here's a picture of him now. Okay, the Quetzalcoatlus. Now, he's about to become a bit more famous than he is already. Now, if you're a bit like me and you love dinosaurs, you probably know about this guy. But if you're not really into dinosaurs and pterosaurs, he may be a dinosaur that people may not have heard of. Sorry, a pterosaur that people may not have heard of. The Quetzalcoatlus. Now, he's about to become a lot more famous, and I'll tell you for why. He's going to have a starring role in the upcoming Jurassic World Dominion movie, which comes out, I believe, on June the 10th. Can't wait to go and see that movie. So, as he's going to become a bit more of a star, I thought it would be cool if we looked at this pterosaur and gave ourselves some information so that when the movie comes out, we can tell all our friends all about it. So let's start with this. He's actually named after an Aztec god. And the Aztec god's name was Quetzalcoatl. Okay, Quetzalcoatl. Now the Aztecs, they were a Native American people who dominated the north of Mexico at the time of the Spanish conquest, early in the 16th century. And they had many gods, but this one was Quetzalcoatl. And he was the son of wind, air, and learning. So learning is what we're doing now. That's a real cool thing. Quetzalcoatl, and that's what the dinosaur is named after. So here's an image of the Quetzalcoatlus. Now, let's say this. When it comes to pronunciation, there are very different ways of saying many different dinosaurs' names. This guy, I pronounce it as Quetzalcoatlus or Quetzalcoatlus. Other people might call him a Quetzalcoatlus. Whatever they call him, it doesn't really matter as long as we know we're talking about the same animal. There is no right or wrong. We're talking about animals that are named after Aztec gods that were named in the 16th century. Now, I'm sure the pronunciation back then was way different to what we use now. So I call it the Quetzalcoatlus or Quetzalcoatlus, or maybe Quetzalcoatlus, depending on how you want to say it. But there isn't a right or wrong way. So here we are. Here's some pictures of him. Now, most of the images you're going to see of this guy are going to be like the one over here. They're going to be like the one there. He's standing upright. okay? But it's probably not quite accurate. He probably spent more of his time like this guy above us here. Now remember when we were talking about the pterosaurs and the pteranodon a couple of weeks ago, and we said that when he walked around on all fours, and that's pretty much the same as this guy. Okay, he's the same as the Quetzalcoatlus. He walked around on all fours. Very similar to the pteranodon, his back legs are a lot weaker than his arms. And you can see here. But you'll find probably in most of the movies and any images you'll see him looking like this guy over here. And that's not to say he didn't stand like that, but most of the time he would have been on all fours like this guy above us. And that's how he walked around. Now, when it came to eating, it's a little bit undecided what they ate. We're not quite sure that what they would eat, but it's probably likely that they would eat sort of fish, very small mammals, or even mammals, dinosaurs, maybe small dinosaurs, basically anything they could catch. Things about the size of your average cat or dog is probably what they would be feasting on. Now, I was lucky enough that a few years ago we went to the Houston Natural Science Museum, and when we were there at the Houston Natural Science Museum, they've actually got a mock-up of the Quetzalcoatlus here, and you can see it here. Here's the skeleton. Now, I wanted to take close attention and have a look at the thickness of the bones in his arms, see how thick they are, and then compare it to the one behind him and look at the thinness of the legs. So again, very much like the pteranodon, the arms have got all the power and the strength, and the back legs are just pretty much there as a support. Now that means he probably took off very similar to the way that we believe the pteranodon did. And like a bat, remember the video we showed of the bat, how it took off, it's got into like a press-up position, pushed off with its wings and its arms started to flap? That's possibly or probably how the Quetzalcoatlus would take off. Also, he probably used wind a lot. He would face into the wind like a kite, spread his wings out, and then all he'd have to do is a little hop into the air and the wind would take him. Now, talking about flying, this is probably how we believe he would have flown. So he's a gentle flying. You can see there's not lots of flapping around like a small bat would. Because of his wingspan was so big, he wouldn't have had to do very much flapping at all. In fact, he probably, once he got up, he did a lot of gliding. He got to a height, used the thermal currents to get to the height he needed, and then floated around. But as you can see, his arms are very long, his wings are long as well, and it helps him to fly around. His large wingspan, because it's so big, would give him a lot of power. So when we talk about size, what are we actually talking about? Well, let's look at this guy. This is so that we can get a good grip of how tall this guy is. He's actually the same height, roughly, as a giraffe. Okay. Now, when he was on all fours, he was probably about 3 meters tall. Okay, so it's a lot less than a giraffe. But when he stands up, you can see here, he's as tall as a giraffe. Can you imagine something that big actually flying around? It just absolutely crazy to me. Now let's put it in comparison to a human. Let's have a look. So here we've got a human standing next to a model of a Quetzalcoatlus, and you can see how huge this pterosaur was. It was absolutely massive. Now originally it was estimated that they thought his wingspan was going to be about 52 feet wide. Now that's been corrected recently. Okay, the scientists have looked again and they've redone the math, they've discovered more ideas and discovered more things, and they've changed that to actually between 33 and 36 feet wide. So it's not as, his wingspan isn't as big as they originally thought, but still 36 feet is very, very large. And it's important we understand that information changes as we learn more. So they might discover a new fossil or a different type of animal that's very similar, and from that they can work out the differences, and education gets better. As we learn more, we understand more, and we can make better educated guesses. Now it's believed that the Quetzalcoatlus, he weighed about 150 pounds. Now that's not light, but when you consider this thing's the size of a giraffe, it actually is pretty light, and he had to be light so that he could fly. He probably, as we said, he probably scavenged for fish, and he probably ate very similarly to the way that a stork would do. You know how sometimes you see birds with long legs and long beaks like this guy, and they'll be on a pond or in the shallows with their feet just in the water, and then they'll spear a fish with their jaws. And that's probably what he did. So he would scavenge some food. He may eat small animals like dogs, the size of dogs and cats, and he would probably fish with his long sharp beak, and he would stab fish as they swam by. So there we have it, guys, the Quetzalcoatlus. What a fantastic beast. I just love this pterosaur. It's an incredible animal, and as I say, you want to know as much as you can, because in the very near future, lots of people are going to be knowing about this pterosaur, and they're going to be talking about him because he's going to be in the new movie, which comes out on the 10th of June. So that was fantastic. I just love learning about pterosaurs and dinosaurs and then spreading some of the knowledge to you guys. And I love it when you guys send me messages and give me some knowledge back. Some of you guys teach me lots of things. Certainly when I visit schools, some of the children there are so knowledgeable and they teach me a lot of stuff. Now, talking about visiting schools, I went to another school this week. I went to the St. Bernadette School. I was invited by Miss Ashley, who's a teacher there, and she asked us to come and talk to the children there about dinosaurs and bring some fossils and bring some of our dinosaurs and have a little bit of fun. So here's a quick video showing you some of the things we got up to at the St. Bernadette School over there in Homer. So there we have it. Did you see how much fun we were having there? The children absolutely loved it. It was fantastic. Our dinosaurs loved meeting all those wonderful children down there in Homer, and that was at the St. Bernadette School. And I know that we're planning to come back again to see you guys very, very soon. Now, talking about coming to see us, And summer's coming up, okay? Summer's a really busy time for us here at the Dinosaur Experience. It's when we do a lot of shows, we do a lot of stuff, and we do some public events. Now, the public events are great because it means that anybody can come along and see us. And I've got a list of the public events here. I'm not going to go through them all today, but I just want to tell you about some of the ones on here, some of the ones that we've added recently. So if you look on here, on June the 4th, at the Le Chien Brewery in Denham Springs. Now, Denham Springs is where we live. Okay, so it's just down the road from us, Le Chien Brewery. It's a very family-friendly and pet-friendly brewery. So get mum and dad to bring you along. We're going to have our dinosaurs there. We're doing 2 shows on June the 4th. June the 4th at 2 o'clock. And then another show at 3:15. The shows are about 30 minutes, so don't be late, guys. You want to be there on time. 2 o'clock and 3:15. Come and meet our dinosaurs. We'd love for you to be there. Now, for all of the events you can see here, they are on our Facebook page. And if you go to events, we create an event. So if you're ever unsure where we're going to be, go to the Facebook page. And look at the events, and they're all there. You'll find some of them are really filling up very quickly, including that one in Denham Springs. We've only put it out about a day ago, and there's already about 500 people said they're coming. So we're expecting that one to be really, really big. Some of the library ones are all there as well. In fact, all the library ones are there as well. So if you do want to come and see us, they're the places to go. And I just wanted to mention this one as well, the Plaquemines Seafood Festival. Let me just check the date. That's going to be on May the 1st. Okay, it's a Sunday. We're going to be there between 12 and 6. We're doing shows throughout the whole day, so it doesn't matter what time you come up. You're only going to be sort of like half an hour away from one of our shows. And it's the Seafood Festival for the Plaquemines Parish down there in Belchase. Okay, it's that sort of area. Do come and see us. It's a fantastic day out, but we are only there on the Sunday. The festival is on Saturday and Sunday, but the Dinosaur Experience is only there on Sunday. So if you're coming to see us, that's the day to come and see us. All right, so if you were unsure about where to come and see us, let me flick around the web a little bit. So this is a Facebook group, the Dinosaur Experience for Kids. This is the one I want you to join, okay? Because this one, you can put stuff on here. If you put any pictures or any questions, it goes straight to the page. Now, we've had a bit of spam going on lately, so I may change it so that it has to be looked at before it will go live. I'll think about that. There's been some horrible people putting stuff on about Amazon jobs that don't really exist, and I kick them off as soon as I see them. But anyway, this is where you or your mum can post pictures on here, any drawings, any pictures. If you've been to see a museum, you've got questions about dinosaurs, it comes straight to this page, the Dinosaur Experience for Kids. And you can see up here, if you click on that, that's got all the summer events on there, and we'll update it as we get more added. Here we have, this is us. Look, this is us live, so you can see us live there. And then announcements. I know what I meant to mention. We're at 999. I was wondering if we were going to hit 1,000 members before tonight's show. Let me just refresh and see if we have hit 1,000 members. Let me refresh it. No, we're still at 999. 999 members. But I'm not knocking that because this group's only been around for about 3 months, something like that. So to get 1,000 of you guys together, joining the Dinosaur Experience for Kids, that's really fantastic. Thank you for joining. If you haven't joined, get on there quick. I want to mention this one as well. This is the Dinosaur Experience Facebook page. Okay, this is our business page. So if we've come to a birthday for you, or we've done an event, this is where you're going to see the pictures and the videos from the birthdays that we go to, as you can see here. And then, of course, the public events are always going to be there. We'll keep updating it as we go. And then this is as I was saying about the public events, we make events for them on Facebook. So you can see that already, this went out yesterday, 61 people have confirmed they're going, 588 people have said they're interested and may come. So that's going to be a big one. That's going to be busy. But yeah, so that's the Dinosaur Experience Facebook page. The other one is the Dinosaur Experience Facebook group. Another place you can find out about us, if you wanted to know where we are, what we're doing, if you wanted to inquire about birthdays or a school or summer visit, This is where you can find out. You click on these buttons. I wanted to show you more. So we click on more. You see it brings up a list. So we've got Rexy's Tales. That's where we read stories to our dinosaur, Rexy. We've got the TDE Kids Live Show. Let's click on that. So if you like this live show and you wanted to see more, this is somewhere you can come and find all of the live shows we've ever done. Starting at number 1. And it goes all the way through to 22, and this one we're doing at the moment, this will be 23. This will be the 23rd show, and it will be on here. So that's a good place you can come to on the dinosaurexperience.com webpage to find our shows. And also there's lots of other things on here. If you wanted to know about birthdays, you can click on there, and it will tell you how to get a quote for a birthday party, as long as you tell us where you are, that sort of thing. The final thing I wanted to show you, the Dinosaur Experience YouTube page. All right, we're now up to 80 subscribers. That's fantastic. Okay, this is where everything is. All the videos we upload come on here. So all our live shows are on here. Rexy's Tales, there's about 40 Rexy's Tales on there. Dinosaur party ideas, and then some of the dinosaur parties we've been to. Then we've got some product reviews, the shorts, everything. So the Dinosaur Experience YouTube page, please do become a subscriber, because we want to be able to let you know what we're doing, and yeah, that's a good way to keep up with us, so you can find out what we've got going on. The final thing I want to mention, our podcast. You guys are doing such a great job listening to our podcast. I've got another one that's in the making as we speak. It's going to be out hopefully this week. But please do go to your podcast provider. We're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and all the major players. Just go there and type in the Dinosaur Experience podcast. It should come up. If you say to Alexa, play the Dinosaur Experience podcast. Or if you say to Siri, play the Dinosaur Experience podcast, it will find it. Once it's found it, please subscribe and listen to our podcast. You guys are doing me so proud on that. So many people are listening to it. I'm really happy with that. And it's a cool thing that you can listen to on your way to school in the mornings, perhaps. Most of them are about 20 to 30 minutes long. Great thing to listen to in the school, or if you're on a car journey somewhere, you can learn about dinosaurs. All right, so riddle of the day. What has to be broken before it can be used? Let's have a little look. What has to be broken before it can be used? Let me just bring this up. We did get an answer. We got an answer. Here it is. Let me bring this up if I can. All right. The answer is an egg. An egg. It says Facebook user, but I think I can find out who it was. Let me have a look. Caitlin Morris Bacon. Thank you, Caitlin, for your guess. You are completely right. An egg has to be broken before it can be used. So that's a really good guess. Well done. All right, guys, that's everything we've got time for now, but I've got a couple of 3 shout-outs I want to do. First one is here, if I can bring it up. Adi says, Happy Easter. Stay safe and well. Same to you, Adi. Thank you so much. He calls me Will. That's when I was in the military. Adi was in the military with me, and that was my name. In the military, you go by your second name, which is Wilmot, or Will for short. So Adi calls me Will, as everybody who knew me in the military does as well. So they know me as Will, not Ranger Martin. But yeah, it's good to hear from you, Adi. Thank you so much. Have a great Easter yourself. And then we've got Crackers. Crackers is a good guy. He listens and watches every week, pretty much. Good to see you again, buddy. Hope you're well. Hope you're doing good. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate your time. I forgot to put it up on the page earlier. Let me tell you, summer is getting busier and busier. We're getting crazier. So please forgive me if I didn't put up the thing for shout outs. I know that's something I forgot. I'll try and do better for us all next week. Until next week, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. I hope you enjoyed learning stuff about the Quetzalcoatlus. I know I certainly learned a lot about that pterosaur, and I'm really happy that you guys chose to join us today. So until next week, be good, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.